Hi clerks, I'm Paul Belz-Templeman, your stated clerk for Cascades Presbytery, here to introduce both old and new features of the 2018 Statistics website. So, whether you're a new clerk or you've been submitting statistical reports since John Calvin was in your confirmation class, this video is going to blow your mind. Now, I got to this strange web page by following the link in the email you received from me. It asks for your username and password. You can find those in that email. If you can open your email on the computer where you're doing the statistical report, simply copy the username, paste it in the field on this page. Do the same thing with the password. By the way, any punctuation at the end of the password is part of the password. Do that, and then click Log In, and here we go. On this page are 4 tabs: Church, Clerk, Statistics, and new this year, Supplemental Questions. Now you can see that on the right side there is a task sidebar, and there are different tasks depending on which tab you're on, but if you run into trouble on all the tasks, there's always Home. You click on that, you come back here. Now the Church and Clerk tabs are useful to update information about contacting the church or the clerk. So under the Clerk, the physical task on the right allows you to provide your name if you need to change your name, and the mailing would allow you to change any of your contact information like your email. The other 2 tabs are where you're going to find statistical questions. Statistics is the information that General Assembly voted to require all to answer. Supplemental information is information that the GA staff thought important, but the commissioners didn't. So it's optional. But I encourage you to look at it and answer at least some of the supplemental questions, because in my opinion, it's going to be useful for all of us down the line. Now, when we go to Stats, the first screen you will see is called Instructions. This page helps you figure out who to ask when you have a question. Some questions are best answered by the presbytery, like the deadline for statistical reporting, which is, by the way, February 8th. Other questions can be found by clicking on the Frequently Asked Questions link at the bottom of the page. Now you're going to find more instructions on each of the pages in the statistical report, so fear not. Let's go to the sidebar again and click on Membership Stats. New this year, you can change your starting membership if your 2017 ending membership wasn't accurate. Now the other items on the pages are just additions and subtractions. I say whenever you make changes on this page, go down to the bottom and hit Accept. That's going to save the data, but it allows you to go back and edit it later. Let's look at some of the other pages. Under Congregational Life Stats, the report has been streamlined, though we're still asking for the ages of all of our members, and as well as the age distribution of Christian education groups. You'll want to check with your Christian education people to see if they can help you with that. Under Racial Ethnic Stats, we actually start with disability statistics. One thing that's important to understand when you're doing this is in the second paragraph of instructions. In order to complete this section, you as clerk are not expected to conduct a survey of the congregation, but to rely on personal knowledge of individuals' disabilities. Do your best with this. It's difficult work. You're going to have to make some guesses at times. When you go down to the bottom, you're going to find the racial ethnic composition of the church questions. Again, do your best in answering those. Remember to hit Accept when you enter your data so it's saved and you can come back and edit it later. When we get to financial stats, I think you're going to find it refreshing if you've done this before, because they're not going to ask as many questions. This year they're asking for annual income, which is any money that comes into the church, any money at all. And then the annual expenses, well, that's any money that was spent, except for capital expenditures, which hopefully your treasurer can break that out for you. Then there are subsets of the annual expenses. How much did you give to mission, any kind of mission? How much did you spend on personnel, any kind of personnel expense? And how much did you spend on facilities? Hopefully that's going to be easier for your treasurer. Now that's it for the mandatory reporting. If you have time, do me a favor, go up and hit the supplemental questions and see how many of those you can answer. Again, you don't have to hit Submit on the final screen when you go back to Statistics. I wouldn't even go there. They're going to be submitted for you when the period runs out, so that way you won't end up having to go back and ask me to reopen your file if you have an issue. Finally, to print your report for inclusion in the minutes of the session, go to the Home tab, and it will take you to the Church tab, and you just click under Church Report. See this here, PDF? And it'll allow you to save a PDF, which you can then open and print. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have questions or comments on this video and the statistical report.